Hello everyone, this is the CS Revelation. Welcome to a new video on Java. Today's video is going to be an extension to our previous video on Java Scanner, where we learned how to input data through the console window. Now, you can also read data from an external data file using the scanner. And that process begins with, the first step is to create a text file and place it directly into the root level of your workspace. So that is a first step that we must do. So first, go ahead to your File Explorer, go to the project folder. Mine is in NetBeans project, which is in Documents. My project is called File Scanner. So I'm going to open that and I'm going to create a text file. You can create it here, or you can, copy it and paste it. I'm going to call this numbers, and I'm going to open this file. I'm going to type any values that I like. I'm going to type 12. I'm going to type 45. I'm going to press the enter key, and I'm going to type another number, and I'm going to press the enter key. I'm going to type 45. And then space, I'm going to type 89, space, I'm going to type 3, space, I'm going to type 12. So all these numbers. So just a sample text file that we're going to be using for this project. Click Save. Now you have this file, which is on the root level of your project folder. Now go back to your NetBeans and create an instance of the Java Scanner. So to do so, we need the following code. So it's scanner. I'm going to call this scanner in equals new scanner. And in the previous video, for simple data input, we use the system.in. For this one, we're actually going to construct a file. So we're going to say new file. And in parentheses, you're going to put the name of the file. Our file is called numbers.txt, and make sure you put this in quotes, the name of the file in double quotation marks, and the semicolon. Now, the next thing we want to do, like we did in the previous video, we want to import the package for the scanner class. So we click that, and then we do import for java.util scanner. So this is now generated. Now make sure you guys spell this right, otherwise you're not going to have that option listed here. Also, you see here file is underlined, and that is because we also need to import that package, and file is in the java.io package. So you import that. So we have these two imported. The next thing, we would like to fix this error, and that is just because we need to handle exceptions. So for example, if the file is not found, this should not crash, and it should just throw an exception, tells you, hey, that file does not exist. So you click on this one, this icon here, and the first option here that says add throws clause for java.io file not found exception. There's a second option here, which is to surround it with a try and catch. We're going to learn that in future videos, but for now, let's just accept this. So once you add this, throws file not found exception, basically if the main method when trying to execute this line does not find this file, it should throw an exception telling you, hey, that file does not exist, but it should prevent the application from crashing. Okay, so now that we created our scanner and we specified the file name, now let's read from this file. Okay, so for this, we're going to use, first of all, let me give you a simple line of code that would read something from this file. So we could simply print directly what's going to be read. So I'm going to say system out print, and we're going to print each one of those numbers in separate lines. So we're going to use the ln, print ln. What are we going to be printing? It's whatever comes from this file, which is through the scanner. So I'm going to say in, which is the scanner name, dot next. Of course, we're reading the whole thing, so we're going to say dot next line. Okay, so system out print in that next line. Now let's test this out first of all, and let's find out if it works. There's something else that we should add in a second. So you see here, this just printed the first line from the file. So our text file has multiple lines. This is the first line, this is the second line, this is the third line. And by just putting one print statement, we're only printing the first line, right? Now, if you add another print statement, it will print the next line as well. So it's going to print this and then the next line. And if I add another one, it's also going to print the next line. But we don't know, like if we have a big file, we wouldn't know how many lines are there so we can print them all. But if you were like just targeting the first line or the second line, then you could do it this way. So to fix this issue, we should use a while loop. So we're going to say while there is another line, just go ahead and print it for me. There will be another lecture on loops, and while loops will be covered. But for now, just use this code, which is the name of the file, which is actually we're going to use the scanner. So it's in dot has next. So while it has a next line, while this scanner has a next line, just go ahead and print it for me. That's what we're saying. And we only need one of these. So we're saying while there is a next line in this file, just go ahead and print it for me. Okay, so we actually deleted one curly bracket here. Okay, so we run this and notice now I get all the lines that I have in my file with just this code. I can actually go back and add more lines, and that's going to print all of them. I'm just going to confirm that it will print all of them. So save this, go back to our project, run it again, and notice that we get all the lines now. So we don't have to put a system out print for each one of these lines. Okay, so this code will print all those lines from that one text file. So you could also read from a web page. So this is how to read from a text file, but the next code is going to show you how to read from a web page. So I'm going to comment all this out. And that is because I would like to type new code. So for this, we're going to create a scanner that reads from a web page. So we're going to say scanner, for example, scan equals new scanner. And earlier the scanner was to construct a file scanner, right? This one now is going to construct a URL scanner. So we're going to say equals new, and then you're going to put URL, and okay, and then we're going to put the URL of the web page that we want to read from. Say we're going to do www.google, just the landing page of google.com, and make sure that you put this in also in quotes. The URL that you have here, put it in quotes. And then we need to add .openstream, right? So we need to add the .openstream. Yeah, .openstream. Okay, so that is what's needed for this execution. Now this is the scanner. It's basically constructing an instance of this class scanner that is going to be reading from a web file, from a web page. And here we have the URL underlined. That is because we need to also import its package, and that is in java.net, right? So double click that and you get the java.net also imported, that package that has the definition for the URL. And then you need to fix this because we are reading from a web page, so we need an exception handling for that. So you add that and you get this. For just running this code, you don't need this exception, but that is because it was left from the previous scanner. So you only need this one. So if you need to handle two different exceptions, you need to just put a comma and then the name of the next exception. And the next thing that we want to do is also handling another exception, and that exception is for the open stream. So that is also an input output exception. So it's a .io. So we need to also throw that exception. So we need to handle that by adding it to whoever's executing this code is the main method is going to throw these exceptions when those occur. So now this is the one line of code to declare this type of a scanner that's going to read from a web page. Okay, so for this, also we're going to have the same code as before. We're going to use a while loop because we want to read all the code from a web page. So we're going to say while scan has next, we're going to read the next line, right? So it's the same code as before, except that it's not reading from a text file, it's reading from a web page, which is this. Okay, so let me get rid of these forward slashes and let's run this. So notice that what you get here is an error message that is saying no protocol for www. Yeah, that is because, this is not allowed here probably. I can actually use my own website, so I'm going to put www. Okay, and let's see what gets to be generated here. I think we need to add the HTTP part. Okay, so HTTP colon, let's try that now. And there you go. So it's actually reading the HTML code. That is the code that constructs the web page. And there you have it. So you must include the HTTP part here. So let's try the google.com. So, and let's run this. And there you also have it. So you get the code for the google.com web page, landing page. Okay, so this is the end of this video. And in this, we have covered the scanner for text files, so how to scan data from a text file, and also how to scan data from a web page. Okay, so remember that our focus is the Java scanner, and in future videos I'm going to show you what it means to have an exception, what it means to handle an exception, what it means to have a try catch, and so on. Okay, so this is the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.